Welcome to the Business Interview. I'm Markus Karlsson. Window shopping could soon take on a whole new meaning. Imagine seeing a pair of shoes that you like on television or in a shop window. Then imagine using your smartphone to take a picture of the shoes in question and buying them on the spot. Today I'm sitting down with a serial entrepreneur who wants to make that a reality. Dan Wagner is the head of the British startup Power Technologies, which is launching a new shopping application. It's been able to raise almost $100 million in the past year, and Wagner himself says the business will one day be bigger than both Google and Facebook. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you, Markus, for having me.
Now, you're setting out to revolutionize retailing as we know it. Talk us through how your shopping application actually works. I'm guessing a lot of viewers out there are not too familiar with it.
Well, I think the first thing to say is that we understand e-commerce because that's been my business career for the last 30 years. So we understand how merchants trade online. And of course, the other channel is in-store. And what we're trying to do with Power Tag is bridge that gap between in-store and online and provide a new channel, which we're calling e-commerce anywhere or commerce anywhere. And that allows consumers to use their smartphone to buy advertisements that they see in the press, an item in a shop window or on a pair of shoes that a friend's wearing. And when they're watching TV, they hold their phone up and they can buy what they see on the screen.
So basically, retailers, they have the option of displaying a barcode, essentially, either on television or in a newspaper or online for that matter. And then you as a consumer can basically take a photo of it.
Yes, I mean, that's one way. Actually, we are trying to deploy lots of different technologies, like barcodes, audio watermarking, which is a hidden sound in a broadcast. It sounds advanced, but actually it's very elegant and it's not that sophisticated. And the phone, using its microphone and its camera, in sometimes in one case, sometimes in the other, recognizes the signal and is able then to display the product on the phone and allow me with one click to check out. And, you know, this is the elegance of the platform, the fact that we have weaved together technologies that are already existing, things that work. This is not sci-fi, this actually works today, and that's why we've signed 260 major brands all over the world, because they recognize that this is something that will change the way they're able to trade with customers.
You say that you're trying to weave several things together that are already in existence. Is this new technology then? I mean, is this a real change? Is this going to fill a niche in the market that doesn't already exist?
Well, I believe it does, and I think that that's being endorsed by the large momentum of retail brands and manufacturers that have joined us in this launch event. Fundamentally, if you think about iTunes and the success of the iPod and iTunes, Apple were very clever to weave together existing technologies of MP3 players and MP3 music into a service that consumers could use very easily. It wasn't revolutionary, it was evolutionary, but it felt much better, it worked better. And what we've done is something very similar. We've taken things that people have seen like QR codes that are a bit useless today. You can tag them and they take you to a website. And we made them very valuable now because I can tag something and immediately buy it. In the case of, you're familiar with Shazam, where you can hold your phone up and listen to music. That's a very clever technology using a similar technology to what we're using. But in our case, you can hold your phone up while watching a TV commercial or when you're at a football game and buy a shirt or a ticket for the next game, or when you're at a fashion show to buy the clothes that the model is wearing. It uses the same technology of listening, but we are affecting something much more meaningful, a transaction. And that transaction at the end, together with the other methods we're using, makes this a very complete system.
I can see that what you're offering could make the process of purchasing something a lot smoother, but you're still going to be dependent, though, if you buy something online or from a television, you're still going to be dependent, though, on having delivery companies actually bring customers the product, and sometimes that experience can be a little bit dodgy.
Yes, look, I mean, we're not trying to solve the problem of retail. We are trying to enable those retailers to transact in broader sets of channels. Right now, as I said before, there's the online channel, there's the in-store channel, maybe there's the mail order channel. There isn't the printed advertising channel. There isn't the TV broadcast channel, and there certainly isn't the, anywhere you are in the world channel in the middle of a street somewhere. We bring commerce and transaction capability to those environments. If I'm standing in a bus stop and there is a poster next to me with a product that I might want to buy, holding my phone up and buying it on the spot is a real transformative step forward for the advertiser, because right now I have to make a mental note of that. I then have to make a note of the ad, and when I get home, maybe I'll end up buying the product, and often that transaction may be lost.
There's an ongoing debate on whether high street shops, brick and mortar retailers are going to be able to survive in a shopping world where people more and more are going online to find their goods. Do you think that what you're offering will help the brick and mortar stores, or will it actually threaten them?
Well, I think we actually make a huge difference to physical retail. Right now, physical retail has been challenged for the last 15 years by the onslaught of the pure play, what's known as the pure play online players. The online players have had none of the legacy costs of high street retail and are able to be much more efficient in getting product to customer without having the cost of storing it in a shop first and displaying it nicely. They can just put it on the web. Now we change the game a bit. We level the playing field, because a retailer in store with PowerTag, including our PowerTag beacons, which notify you when you walk around the store with messages and everything, is all part of the same platform, allowing me to buy product that may not be in stock in that store. They can just buy it and it will be shipped to me tomorrow. And when I buy online or using my mobile phone, the retail stores know where I am because of the geolocation, and they can ship a product to me or deliver it to me within half an hour if their store's nearby, or invite me in to pick it up. And this whole melding together of my location and my purchase with a nearby store pulls together all of these different channels of online, where I am at the time, and the physical retail store. And I think that's what's being so compelling to the retailers we signed up. It's very rare to get brands like Carrefour and Galeries Lafayette and Groupe Beaumanoir and Fast Retailing and others to adopt technology before we even launch it. Mm-hmm. And I think that says a lot about how compelling this technology is for retailers. They're excited about it. They see it as being a huge boost to their business and a huge win for them against the pure play online players.
You say that you have the ambition to overtake Facebook and Google in terms of size when it comes to technology companies. What's to say that either of those companies or any other major player won't buy your company? Or what's to say that Google or Facebook, for that matter, can't start a similar service that you have on offer?
Okay, so I mean, I think the first point to make is that it wasn't a statement that I made. It's something that has been reported on. We are ambitious. We believe that what we have here is the AdWords of the physical world, for want of a better phrase. It's the first time that you can accurately transact with printed materials and broadcasts and know that people are buying from that ad or they're not, which is fully accountable advertising in the real world. The implications of it are enormous, and our ability to capture the market is based around a desire to be ubiquitous. We want this application on consumers' phones to be the application that they use when they buy from anybody. Mm-hmm. And we're well on our way to achieving that. So
but what if Google decides tomorrow that they're going to start a similar thing? What happens then?
They've been very unsuccessful with their Google Wallet for many years. They spent billions trying to get that established, and there's no retailers who take Google Wallet today. They've been ambitious in trying to get Google Checkout as something that's adopted, but hardly anyone uses that today. And I think that, they are not e-commerce experts. They're not retailers. They're very, very, very good at what they do, but they need to move into a new area that they don't understand. We come from that background and understand it extremely well, and we have momentum, and we have the wind behind us with the 260 brands who've already adopted the technology, which we're adding to every day. So I say we're in a very strong position. We're well financed, we're well placed, we have fantastic technology, and anybody trying to compete with us will need to build that technology. It's going to take them a good year or two to catch up, just in terms of product.
It's been difficult so far for Britain and also the rest of Europe to produce the kind of startups, the kind of massive companies like Google and Facebook. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think that it fundamentally boils down to a lack of vision and understanding of the potential for those companies. We have created great companies like Skype and others who become worldwide sensations, but they end up being absorbed by other US groups. partly down to the fact that they may have been funded by a number of venture capital funds that need to get their money out or have a lower expectation of ultimate value. And also because the entrepreneurs want to take money off the table. It's slightly different with Power. It's primarily owned by my venture fund and a small and an investor from the US, a US fund. And therefore, we don't have any requirement to sell out. We're experienced and we understand what we need to achieve. And there's no desire to exit right now. So we think that we have the potential to create a global leader with this business. And that's what we're going to do.
So you're not looking to be snapped up by anyone else?
No, we're not looking to be snapped up. But of course, I'm an entrepreneur. And if somebody comes in with, the most extraordinary value for our shareholders, I'll have to consider that. But that's not something that we're trying to achieve. And I think that's the difference between European businesses. They're looking for an exit. They have a horizon where the exit is. And we don't have that horizon. We have a horizon to deliver ubiquity with our platform. We want everyone using PowerTag, from merchants and consumers. And we believe that we're well on the way to achieving that.
Some people say that Europe is not really the place to start a tech company. Do you agree with that?
No, I don't.
Have you ever been tempted to move to Silicon Valley, for instance?
Not at all. No, I've worked in the Valley. I had a large. I've had businesses based in the Valley, or large operations based in the Valley. I like living in the UK. I like living in Europe, and I'm happy and settled here. And I don't believe that you have to move to the United States to build successful tech businesses or global leaders. I think you just need to have the right economic environment that surrounds you, and you have to have the right support. And when I mean the right support, the right labour laws and tax incentive for investors to support you, which I don't think is correct across all of Europe today, but it's getting a lot better.
All right, we're going to have to wrap it up there. Dan Wagner, thank you very much indeed for speaking to us.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
And with that, we're going to wrap up at this edition of the Business Interview here on France 24. Stay with us.